It's the 17th of December 2024 today. After having a day off in Auckland, we're on the road again up to Paihia and the Bay of Islands. Don't worry, you haven't missed Auckland. We have to go back there when we've finished our North Island loop, and we have activities planned that you'll be in on. So to start the day, we're driving about 3 hours north of Auckland up to Paihia on the Bay of Islands. That should occupy our morning. Then in the afternoon we have a boat trip scheduled to see more of the bay. That should fill up our day quite nicely. But first of all we have to get out of Auckland through the rush hour traffic.
Goes on sale 10 a.m. Aussie time. 7 hours from now.
On our way out of Auckland in the rush hour traffic.
Wow, if this is rush hour, I'm jealous. I'm so jealous.
8 o'clock. So this is technically the west coast of New Zealand, and it is like literally 1 minute's drive from where we were staying. Oh, this looks a bit like the Tasman Bridge in Hobart.
Morocco tour.
Oh, what, sorry?
Morocco
He's
tour.
Oop.
He's done it before, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dash cam. Hopefully that's all the excitement we'll get today.
It's the worst it's been the trip, isn't it? It really wasn't bad.
We've got off the freeway so we don't have to pay the tolls and driving up the coast at the moment. There's the freeway over there, so we're not far away from it. So this is $2.60 cheaper, and we don't have an account set up anyway, so I don't know if you can see that's the freeway down there. So we're basically just travelling parallel to the freeway, and it's windier and slower and more scenic. Yeah, I got that. There are plenty of trucks along this route, and as usual the scenery is great, especially if you come from a brown flat land like me. Still on the main road up the travelling north up the east coast. We finally make it to the coast. We're not far from Paihia now.
So that's Russell over there.
The light's probably wrong, but that's quite a nice bit of poetry here. And he's tucked his heli in close there. See if that shows it up any better. They're really coming well into flower now. It's the 17th of December. Just waiting for cruise of the Bay of Islands to depart. Also, just an interesting thing there at the information centre, they have like a Bay of Islands scenic railway, which would probably be worth having a look at one time. So here we go on yet another boat cruise. Ooh, mud. And this time a 4-hour cruise of the Bay of Islands, and I hope we don't wind up like Gilligan's Island. Although it was a 3-hour cruise or something, wasn't it?
The right shortly they'll be coming around with little cruise maps and outlines where we're going to be going. So the first one, when you do get your cruise map, we will be heading across to an easy place known as Kororaraka, and that will be number 2 on your map. Not too far.
I know how to do really small islands here. Little classic wave cut platform there. It's a bit of a view, whoops, across to Paihia. Doing a bit of a cheat, we're just heading across the channel to Russell, maybe to pick some people up there, but that's where we're going across to have breakfast in the morning. Russell over here. There's a little building over there, have no idea what it is. One of the other tour boats, interesting hull design on that. Just coming into Russell slowly so the wash doesn't disturb all the boats. I think this is sort of well-to-do bay.
There's Paihia House.
I don't know if you can see it all that well. Where is he going? That grey thing, it's a shark. After our pick-up in Russell, we head out to explore the bay. It's a popular boating spot with some beautiful sailboats out. That small blue boat is heading to the same spot as us.
November 1769, Captain James Cook, then lieutenant at the time, he later became James Cook, came ashore and first met with the Māori peoples that were living in this area. Initially, his confrontation or his greeting wasn't the best. The Maoris were a little bit confused. 1, men wearing clothes, what is that about? 2, this great ship parked directly out in front of us, what is nowadays known as renowned anchorage. And so he had his ship sort of standing beam on to, should he have any problems, he would send a message and they would fire a cannonball shot over onto the land. And this did happen. In fact, that cannonball supposedly two main type of dolphin that we'll get here, the bottlenose dolphin or the smaller one, and good grief, these are the smaller one, our little common dolphin. That's rather strange because these guys love to be offshore. We spend a lot of time offshore to see them in, and what have we got? We've got 15 meters of water. Really cool. What I'm going to do now is call Fiona up, one of my crew. She can korero about these things, talk about these guys all day long, and I'd really love to listen to her. So
the short-beaked and the long-beaked common dolphin. Now, depending on where you are in the world, more temperate waters, you'd get the short-beaked, slightly more tropical waters, kilometres, you'd get the long-beaked. Now, these guys might look pretty small, but remember that we're on a 23-metre vessel, and you are looking down. Again, just like all the other dolphin species, these guys love to echolocate. Now, different prey species they'll be feeding on, whole different variety of prey. Now, these dolphins, they don't use their teeth to chew their food, merely just to trap their food. So ideally, the prey that these guys are after will be no larger than the size of their throat, as they will swallow their food whole or as close to whole as possible. So
they're not giving up on us. We've picked up speed to try and drop them off, but they want to play.
After our encounter with the dolphins, it's nice just to sit and enjoy the view as we head out across the bay.
So we're heading out through what is known as the Albert Passage, okay, that's going to take us directly in front of us, the wild blue Pacific. And from here, another 7 nautical miles to our destination, and we're going to follow all
Some bottlenose dolphins up there, evidently the guy in
now
that
there we go, guys.
boat was complaining about them and asked if we could make
Two
them
of
come
them?
and play with us.
Now these bottlenose dolphins, right at the front there, guys. Coming up again, there we go. And there is a very small population at the Bay of Islands pod that some of the more experienced crew know very well. They've earned the nickname the Bay of Islands Squad.
So they get to so close to the boat that's bloody scary.
Just like the common dolphins, don't necessarily stay
These are
with the
bottlenose
same pod
dolphins.
their entire lives. They'll come and go as they please, especially the males. The bachelor males will be swimming around between different pods, trying to get themselves some girlfriends and make some babies. And as I said earlier, like the commons, there's no stronger bond than the mother and calf.
Well, that's 2 different types of dolphins now, but we continue out to the edge of the bay.
contracted to make quite a few of the lighthouses, so very similar in shape. The one in Tiritiri Island in Matangi, Tiritiri Matangi Island in Auckland. If you happen to do that trip with us, you'll see a very similar looking lighthouse. And also Cape Ringa, right at the top of New Zealand, very similar looking lighthouse. Once again, all built by Judd's Foundry, Thames Coromandel. Some recognition, knowing that
landing there.
if they needed to, they could communicate with the lighthouse keeper, send messages further down to Auckland where they were heading. Today the light is that little fiberglass tower that you can see just to the left-hand side there. It only shines for 17 nautical miles now, but of course, still a welcome sight when you're coming in from out to sea at night.
And hang on a bit here, it's a bit rolly. Going up to the hole in the rock.
Okay, we're coming up onto our right-hand side. We're back into sheltered waters here a little bit. Give us an opportunity to move up so you are able to see our world-famous hole in the rock. There it is, opening up now on the island of Motu Kokako, island of the kokako bird. A bird that was released out onto the island by the Maori people. Had beautiful feathers, and when you were a young warrior trying to prove your manhood, you would be placed out onto this island and you would not be able to leave until you had got yourself a kōkako feather to be able to put into your cloak. Going to turn around here, it's a little bit rocky there this afternoon, and conditions out the other side won't be the best. So we'll just have a little bit of a look at it at the moment, decide what we're going to do.
Skewered by boat. He's talking as if he's going to drive the boat through there, but I hope he doesn't. Very spectacular scenery. That's not bad. Looks like he's going to do it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Everybody holding on. Everybody holding on. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, right in the middle of an island. There is going to be more movement here. Everybody holding on. If you're not steady on your feet, just sit down. I need everybody to stay where you are. Please do not move around. We'll be back into the calmer side in just a few moments.
Through and out the other side. Once again, please do not move around. I'm going to turn my boat to starboard at the moment and get back around through the gap there and try and make it comfortable. Be back on the other side in just a minute or two. Just stay hanging on for now. Please don't want to move it. There's a view on the foredeck. If you look directly in front of us, right at the top of the hill, there's another hole. You got it? Yeah, my spring tide, a pretty good swell and a much smaller boat, I'd give it a go.
Well, the more important thing is there's a big school of fish over there behind us. There's the birds on it.
It's going to get us around to the comfort of the hole again. One last look at it and then we're on our way.
We went right through the middle of that. It looks longer from the outside than it did going through.
There we go, one more look out to our right hand side. You enjoy that? Yeah? Shall we do it again?
Now heading back to the island whose name I can't remember. I don't know whether to spend some time sitting in the cafe, having a walk around, or maybe doing a bit of both.
Side of it now. This is the western side and Auckland Bay.
Just coming up to dock at the jetty that I could see through the front of the boat. Bloody wind. But you can't, and I'm not going to try and get a picture through the front of the boat.
help you? Yeah. To be fair, the top of the side of the asphalt, I couldn't, like, it kind of fit, and she said, like, I'm not really comfortable. I don't even want to, like, stretch.
We spent some time wandering around having a look at the island and then tea, coffee and cake in the cafe. It's been a really interesting tour of the bay and the dolphins were a bonus.
Right.
We head up to Kerikeri where we have a couple of nights accommodation booked. It's not far away from Paihia, which is good because we'll be back tomorrow to do different things.
Slowly in the west. And just because I'm videoing the bay, we turn away from it.
If you're interested, the map plot shows where we went on the boat. So tomorrow, we're heading across to Russell for breakfast and to meet some friends of our travel companions. It's a 50-kilometre drive if you go around the Waikare Inlet, but we're cheating and taking the ferry between Apua and Okiato, which shortens the trip to about 16 kilometres. Join us for that video as we get a look at the Bay of Islands from the land and head off to Kawakawa to see a local attraction there.